I'm Kathleen Hart, and welcome to my show. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about using your intuition. Intuition, everybody has it. Not everybody listens to it. It's that small voice in your head that tells you, gee, maybe I need to take a different route home from work today, or maybe I should not go to that party tonight, or I really should do something else. It's a good idea to learn to listen to it. It can guide you right if you trust it. You just have to practice hearing that little voice in your head sounds like your own thoughts, or that gut feeling that just tells you you need to do something. Practice listening to it till you get good at it and see how it surprises you with the good information it gives you. I've got a little story about that I want to tell you. A few years ago, I was in between jobs, and my husband was getting up to get ready for work in the morning, and I was just kind of snoozing a little bit, sleeping in because I didn't have to get up early. And a little while later, he comes in to let me know he's ready to leave for work, say goodbye. And I sat up and not really good awake yet and just started chatting. And he says, well, I'll take the sedan to work today. It needs tires on it, but I'll get it done later. Don't worry about it. And I said, no, honey, why don't you just take the station wagon today, and I'll take the sedan down and have the tires put on it so you don't have to worry with it. And he decided, okay, I'll do that. I went back to sleep, not thinking about anything unusual. And a little while later, the phone rings. Looks like it's my husband calling. But when I answered, it turned out to be an EMT, emergency med tech, the ambulance driver. There'd been a wreck. He said everything was okay, not so okay, that I needed to meet them down at the emergency room at the hospital. So I got dressed rather hurriedly, went down there, find out what was going on. It wasn't exactly okay, but they didn't tell me everything that was going on. They didn't want to scare me. Long story short, he went home from the hospital a week later, mostly okay, but we knew not everything was quite right. You know, a few broken bones, cuts and bruises, a lot of internal bleeding. It could have been much worse, we thought, but you know, it was over and done with. He was on the mend. Everything would be fine. A few weeks later, we met a friend who was an emergency med tech himself, and I was telling him the story, talking about the worst of the injuries being a 5-centimeter tear in the spleen. His face went white, and he told me that by all rights, he should have bled out at the scene before anybody could have gotten to him. I was shocked. Thought I was going to faint at that point. Couldn't believe that it was worse than I knew, and started thinking back to what had happened earlier. And when I went down to see the car at the impound lot with some friends to, take pictures for the insurance company, retrieve some personal items, I was shocked at what I saw. The frame of the car on the driver's side where the car was hit was pushed in 19 inches from where it had been. If my husband had not listened to me, or if I had not told him to drive the station wagon, rather large, heavy vehicle, instead of the sedan, if he'd have been in that sedan, he wouldn't be with us today. So needless to say, that's a pretty good example of trust your intuition. Some people would call that channeling a message from spirit. And I really believe that that was my guardian angel speaking through me that day. But I'm glad I listened, and I'm glad he listened to me, or it could have been a really, really tragic story. I see we have a caller. Hi, Wendy. Do you have a question for me today?
Yes, hi there. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
a little frustrated with my love life.
Oh,
I seem to be in a stalemate. Yeah, I'm not getting any younger. And I've been telling my angels I'm not getting any younger. Can you please send me my significant other sooner than later?
Okay. Well, I want you to stay positive and tell Spirit what you want. Don't think about what you don't want. Concentrate on what you do want, because the universe
Okay.
will give you what you ask if you stay positive about it. Just make it a very clear ask. Know what you're looking for.
Okay.
Don't be willing to settle for less.
Okay.
See what we get here. Insight. There we go. I want you to practice using your intuition, see what insights you get
Okay.
as to where you might possibly meet this person.
Okay.
And
Okay.
do you, meditate, ask your soul, listen to what your soul's telling you, listen to your heart. That's where you're
Huh?
going to find your happiness.
Okay. Okay.
Think
And
about
another
what brings
question.
you. Think what brings you joy. Run towards it. Don't wait until something hurts so bad you have to move away from it. Run towards your joy. Run towards what you want. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does make sense. Yes. So
You have
I
another
have
question?
important exams. Yes, I have important exams coming up in next week. I am working on my master's degree to be a teacher for elementary education. Can you please tell me if I will be able to pass these exams?
Okay. Let your light shine. You're going to do
Okay.
fabulous. You know
Okay.
this. You've got this. Just remember
Okay.
that. You got it. Don't fret about it. Just go in there and be your best self. I think you'll blow them away
Okay.
with your results.
Okay. Okay.
Anything
And
else?
yes, I am estranged from my adult children. I have two grandkids that I have never met. I would like to know if there's going to be a reunification anytime soon.
No, that's a tough one. Can't imagine being
Yes.
there. Are you familiar with something called soul writing or automatic writing?
I am not.
Okay. Um, it can be a good tool when you meditate. Just get a pen and paper, something that writes very fluidly, and write down your questions, and then meditate some more, and then just start writing. Just start drawing little circles on the paper and see what you come up with. Some folks are real good at getting guidance that way. If that doesn't work
Okay.
for you, there are other things you can try. But I feel this is something that you're going to get guidance from within if
Okay.
you meditate on it. I always encourage, stay connected to your family as best you can. Sometimes their journey's different than yours, and you really can't change it, but let them
Yes,
know, let
I
them know how
understand.
much you care. Try to reach out and be friends with them as best you can. Kind
Uh,
of let go of being mom and having to take care of things, and just try to connect with them on a friend level, and
yes.
let them know how much you want to see those grandkids, how much they mean to you.
Yes. Yes.
And it just send them as much love as you can. Think loving thoughts. Send them a card now and then if they won't talk with you on the phone. I hope they will. But you've got to find ways to get through to them, let them know how much you care, because that's hard to ignore.
Yes.
I think this may take a while, but stick with it. It's worth hanging on to them. Do as many things as you can to encourage them to get in touch with you.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yes, it does make sense.
Yeah,
okay,
listen to your inner voice and see what it tells you.
And I would like more clarification about my finances.
Okay. I'm getting that nothing has gone wrong. Everything will work out. But pay close attention to where your money's going.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Good.
It does make sense. And
stay
where
grounded.
are you located?
Me, I'm in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
That's the Central Daylight Time Zone.
Okay.
How are you doing with this big shift in energy? Is it affecting you at all? Feeling any different?
Yes, today I have slept all day.
Well, take good care of yourself. Drink plenty of fluids, stay hydrated, and get plenty of rest, and try to stay positive. We're going to get through this. It's a little bit uncomfortable right now, but we'll be okay.
And how long is this shift going to last?
Oh my, it could be several years. We're having a big change now, and people are going to have to get used to the change in the energy, but we'll gradually get there, and we just all need to be kinder to each other and more understanding, because we're all going through it. It feels different for everybody, but we're going to make it.
Yes. Okay, the school that I work at, last year was a really tough, rough year for me. It was my first year as being a teacher. I need to know that this year will be better.
It will be what you can make it. So try hard. It'll be okay.